These boy bands, they just never catch a break. The hard rock bands, the hard rock fans, the serious music fans, whatever you want to call serious music, they just, well, I guess serious music be like the Eagles, the Grateful Dead, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, and that is serious stuff. But Backstreet Boys not quite in that pantheon, but still they came out with some great records. They came out with some ballads, some great ballads, and some upbeat records. I'll get into that in just a minute. Quit Playing Games with My Heart was their first American hit in 1997. They actually got started in Europe. They formed in 1993, but they started picking up momentum in Europe. One of the first countries they went platinum in was Germany, and they got big in England before they finally got big over here in the States. In 1998, they were so big that they formed in Orlando in 93. 5 years later, the mayor of Orlando gave them the keys to the city. Backstreet Boys. That's how big they were, but their bubble burst. I remember the heyday of the Backstreet Boys. Last record, let me get my top 40 Bible out here. We've got between 1997 through 1999, they had 6 top 10 hits in a 2-year period. I Want It That Way went to number 6. It just seemed like when I Want It That Way came out in the fall of 1999, they were just really at the peak of their commercial prowess. The video was shot at the Los Angeles Airport, International Airport. Most of the video was shot there, and it just seemed like they could never go wrong. And in the year 2000, they had 2 top 10 hits, and that's it. The last hit they had was in 2005, Incomplete. That went to number 13 on a respectable 13 on Billboard's Hot 100, but a lot of people were just shutting the Backstreet Boys aside by then. They're a popular nostalgia band for people who grew up in the 90s, but anyway, 10 years since they had a hit. I remember it might have been the video, The Incomplete, where they were dressed up as hair metal bands. It was a great spook that they did. They had a sense of humor, great sense of humor when they did that video. I believe it was to the song Incomplete, one of their comebacks back in 2005, or attempted comebacks. A couple of more trivia things about Backstreet Boys. They were the brainchild of a guy named Lou Pearlman. He had been in business for years, but Lou Pearlman, he turned out to be a curse of a major degree, Lou Pearlman got entangled. He started a Ponzi scheme that lasted for years, a long-running Ponzi scheme, one of the longest-running Ponzi schemes in American history, and it was huge. Eventually, when the whole thing just fell apart for him, he was $300 million in debt. Lou Pearlman. And now he's serving 25 years in prison, in jail. Lou Pearlman, who helped put together Backstreet Boys. Another band that he also managed or put together was Old Town. Remember Old Town? I remember reading about Lou Pearlman. There was a pretty good book about him that I read, about 5, 6, 7 years ago. But anyway, the song that comes in at number 23, finally getting to my fantasy playlist of December 30th, 2000, at number 23, Shape of My Heart, Backstreet Boys, their last top 10 hit.